I think there's very few teams that go to sleep tonight and go with confidence that they have enough pitching. Perhaps the Dodgers now, if the guys come back healthy, and you add Blake Snell to the group, and if you add Sasaki to the group, you're pretty rich in the pitching department. But not many teams have that. I mean, how many teams have got two great starting pitchers? How many teams know that they have five quality, and you probably need 8 or 9 to get through the season? At least 5 quality starting pitchers and another 3, 4, or 5 that can start 15 games for you if necessary. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough of that. So I think that's where the concentration is. And to one of your points earlier about paying your relief pitchers more because they're more valuable, that's another situation. So I think the pitching is where most of the emphasis will be. And doesn't mean you take your eye off of third base or the outfield. But it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter how many positional player all-stars you have if you're chasing the scoreboard 6 out of 7 nights a week. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Ned, as far as the international market goes, Japan obviously first and foremost is at the front. Then obviously the Caribbean has been as strong as it has to produce players. Is there a country that is kind of a up-and-comer sleeper that is producing quality major league talent for the major league level?
Great question. Europe is starting to get better. Still a long way to go. Competes with European football or soccer a lot. A lot of kids would rather be the last player on the soccer team than the best player on the baseball team. Mm-hmm. There's cultural expectation sometimes.
Is Korea coming up little by little?
Korea's been pretty good though too.
Yeah,
Korea's had some really good players. It hasn't been as prominent as Japan has been, but it's got players. There's no doubt they have players that want to play in the big leagues and are capable of it. So I don't really know that there's any dynamic out of the blue team or a country that's coming in and in 20 years is going to be producing 30 to 40 MLB players a year. I took the Dodgers to China my second or third year with the idea that in time maybe China could start to produce Major League Baseball players. Knowing that, I wouldn't be alive when it started to happen, but that at some point in time it would happen. But it takes a long time. Baseball, the NFL is trying to globalize by playing flag football. Kind of brilliant. You could play it with 4 people, 5 people. You and a friend can go shoot hoops someplace, one-on-one. Play the game of horse, right? Hockey, you need ice.
Right.
And you need more than a couple people. In baseball, you need more than a couple people. So those two sports have a different dynamic. If they're the top 4, let's put soccer in it too. It's the top 5. Soccer, how many people do you need? Not necessarily many. And kids can practice on their own. You can shoot hoops on your own.
Yeah. I love the hockey overtime 3-on-3. I think it's great.
Yeah, but that's a different topic in my opinion. But as you're trying to develop players, you can shoot hoops by yourself.
Yeah.
You can shoot at the goal by yourself. You can't really make saves by yourself. I guess there's machines that could be shooting pucks at you. Like baseball, you could have a pitching machine. But you can't necessarily play the game by yourself.
Correct. And I asked that question internationally because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like less U.S. kids are playing baseball, more playing football and basketball.
Yeah, that's been an issue a long time now.
It's been that way for a while. Yeah, maybe it's more want the instant gratification and don't want to go
No
through
doubt.
the minors that you have to do and the grind that you have to do in baseball.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Ned, before we get out of here, last question. The Dodgers just signed a few days ago Michael Conforto to a 1-year, $17 million contract.
Yep.
I think it's a good move for the Dodgers. I like Conforto. I think the Giants misused him personally, but what does that signal anything? Is that a safety net against Teoscar maybe going somewhere else?
Probably. But they also like platoons.
Mm.
And they have Chris Taylor signed for another year and probably trying to, get him on track. They've had really some great years. They're talking about them with Arenado, another right-handed hitter. So, it gives them a little bit balance. I mean, they do have left-handed hitters. 2 of their top 3 are left-handed, plus Max Muncy, 25 to 35 home run guy, left-handed. Right. It's a little bit of an insurance policy, but he's a pretty good player.
As a GM, do you look at 65% or close to 70% of the pitchers in baseball are right-handed? Do you look at hey, we need more left-handed bats versus right-handed in that situation?
Well, first of all, you need hitters that can hit both sides of pitching.
Thank you.
You got to start there.
Yes.
And then you got to figure out how you're going to balance it out, because you can probably within 80% predict the rotation, barring injuries of other teams. If you really wanted to go through the exercise to find out how many times you're going to face a left-handed starter or a right-handed starter. But again, all you need to do is have the left-handed starter go 4 innings and bring in the right-handed reliever, and everything's upside down. Some guys have had 2 at bats, some guys have had 1 at bat. So they better be able to hit the right-handed, be able to hit a right-hander. If they start with a right hand, they bring in a lefty reliever. You got to be able to hit left on left. So,
right. Well, guys, last news of the night, nothing major, but according to Ken Rosenthal, the Rangers are acquiring first baseman, third baseman Jake Berger from the Marlins. Doesn't say what the return is, unknown. So, Jake Berger.
Underrated power hitter.
Yep. Yeah, he is. He is.
Kim Ng made a great trade getting him out of the White Sox.
Yeah, that's right. Kim Ng, was she your assistant in LA for a while?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I have one last quick one for Ned, and it's a film question because not too long ago, Ned, I asked you Bronx Tale or Goodfellas, and you thankfully said Bronx Tale because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. This one's going to be a little bit tougher, okay? So, real tough. Godfather 1, Godfather 2. Who do you got? Or which do you have?
Would have been easier if you said Godfather 3.
I know. I wanted to make it tough.
Well, would you understand Godfather 2 if you hadn't seen Godfather 1?
It's a very good.
Godfather 1 wasn't a great movie. Would you even watch Godfather 2?
Right. It's a very good debate when I asked that. It's
so
pretty
Godfather
even.
1 gave Godfather 2 a chance.
There you go.
It's kind of like Brando versus De Niro.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong either one. Just both great films. But.
Leave it to Lowe's. Always put Ned on the spot with a either or. What was your restaurant one in San Francisco? You had Lowe's. You said which restaurant? Lowe's. You gave him a last time.
No. Ned told us his favorite Italian restaurant in San Francisco to go to.
Yeah,
and I remember I wrote it down, but I haven't been there. But I need a Phoenix
on Grant and Green.
I need a Phoenix or Scottsdale Italian restaurant go to now.
Donato Trattoria.
Okay.
On Scottsdale Road.
You got it down, Lowe's. We'll go grab some dinner there.
It's about 10 minutes from the Giants Scottsdale Stadium.
Speaking of Giants, I met with Casey Schmidt today down at Giants training facility, and I've got him in the other room. I should have brought him, but we got 12 autographed baseballs that we're going to be giving away on the show this month. So be joining the shows, and we'll just do some kind of drawing. There's no cost or anything. It's just little gifts from NorCal Sports, and Casey Schmidt was gracious enough to sign the baseballs. So we'll be handing those out. So guys, thanks so much for joining. It's been great. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:45, same time. And we thank Ned Colletti for joining us. Everybody have a wonderful night. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Ned.
See you.